Two types of person in the world: catastrophists and cornucopians. Catastrophists are people that lie awake at night staring at the ceiling, worry about all the nasty things that might happen to them. They believe, and generally their natural habitat is on the political left, they believe that they, or people of like mind, really should be in charge of absolutely everything, and they can make rules and regulations that are going to eliminate risk, and the world will be a happy, wonderful place. If they aren't in charge, and they don't have that option of making the rules and regulations to keep all the rest of us in line, literally the sky will fall. Fuck me, they've already claimed that. It's called global warming. The other type of person is a cornucopian. They are kind of a laissez-faire, life is good, understand that the world is a dangerous place sometimes, but you manage risk. It's not a perfect world, you just have to be a big boy, suck it up and get on with your life. The catastrophists, for some reason, keep bombarding me with personal messages every time I put a video up showing the gun collection. I'm going to address the New Zealand viewers who have emailed me saying, I think it's terrible that you've got these, don't you understand the risk to the general population and public safety by you having this privilege of owning this type of firearm. The difficulty I have with these people is that they argue from a position of complete ignorance. If they even made an attempt to familiarise themselves with the licensing requirements, the storage requirements, the security requirements in law for me to own these things, they may not wet the bed as often as they seem to. I have 4 different types of firearms license. I don't want to go into the specifics, there are videos up about the firearms licenses in New Zealand, but I have 4 different types of firearms license. I have been vetted on each and every instance where I've applied for a new license. Criminal background check, I've been interviewed, I've had to show cause, I've had to show a history of interest in this period. My wife has been interviewed, my children have been interviewed, the neighbours have been interviewed. I've had to provide 2 referees for each of the licenses that I have applied for, which means there are 8 people who have attested to the fact that I'm not a suicide risk, I'm mentally stable, I've got no criminal record that maybe the police aren't aware of, that I'm a fit and proper person. In addition to all that process whereby I get my licenses, there are storage regulations, safety regulations. Having an A category license, bolt action rifle, shotgun, that sort of thing, the rifle has to be kept separate from its bolt and the ammunition has to be kept separately, ideally locked away. If I have an E category license, which is the evil, what you guys call the assault rifle, which is actually in law is referred to as the military style semi-automatic, E category license requires that in addition to the new vetting process, I also have to have a gun safe of certain specifications, and the room in which the gun safe is has to be alarmed. In order to have a B category license, which is the handguns, it would take me 5 minutes to explain all the hoops you have to jump through, but let me assure you it is at least a 9-month process with multiple parties looking at you, testing you, vetting you before you get your pistol license. Once you've got that pistol license, if I wish to take that pistol anywhere, I'm allowed to take it to 2 places. Direct from my home to the pistol range, a gazetted pistol range, or to a gunsmith. And I have to transport it in a locked box. C category license, that's the one that deals with the submachine guns and machine guns. Now, we're allowed to have functional machine guns and submachine guns, but we're not allowed to shoot them. We're not allowed to shoot them under any circumstances. That doesn't seem to give anybody on the catastrophist fringe any great comfort, but it should, because in addition to the strong room which I've had to create, I had to build this before I applied for the license. It cost about $70,000. It's basically military spec strong room. Very, very difficult to get into. It is alarmed, so if anybody that tries to forward entry, the sensors pick them up and the alarm goes. It's a monitored alarm direct to a security company. Security company's orders are, if there is an alarm activation, ring the police immediately. We've had 1 false activation, there's a video on that on this channel as well, and within 12 minutes I had 5 armed police at the top of my driveway. So the response time from the police is pretty damn good. So I've had to spec it so that it's like Fort Knox. There's steel on the roof, there's steel on the walls, there's steel on the floor. Should feel reasonably comfortable that these things are secure. But again, they will continue, the catastrophists, to come up with a what-if scenario. What if somebody drives a bulldozer through the wall? Well, they could do that. And I suppose if they can get in that, and underneath that 12-minute police response envelope, they could grab some of the submachine guns and machine guns and head out the door. They would be wasting their time because, again, if you bother to check the requirements in law, Each one of these firearms has a component removed, whether it be a firing pin or extractor, and generally it's both. They don't work. If somebody disappeared out the door, loaded up a magazine and wanted to go around the neighbourhood hosing it down, all that would happen when they pull the trigger is there'd be a thunk. In order to have them out of the gun safe and displayed this way, they've been deactivated. And I told I have basically a cut and paste email of all this stuff. When people write me these emails and say you shouldn't have these things, I cut and paste, send it back, and this is the requirements, this is what I do. And one person got back to me and said, yeah, but we can see your gun safe. In previous videos we can see the gun safe. That's obviously where you keep your components. Well, you'd be wrong. That gun safe is full of ammunition. The components, the firing pins and the extractors are kept in a completely different physical address in a gun safe. Obviously I'll tell you where that is. But if somebody came in, effected entry, held a gun to my head, came running in, grabbed what they could and disappeared out the door, they would be getting away with nothing more than a very, very ineffective club or tube that are inoperable as they are displayed on the walls here. So, what was the other issue people had? Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. They're all registered, the police have the serial numbers, they know exactly what I've got, and I'm audited. Every firearms collector in this country is randomly audited. The police come in with this big wad of paper, printed off the computer, and they cite every single firearm that's on the C category and B category ticket. They check the serial numbers, and if you're deficient one of those firearms, you are in the shit. You have to explain why you're missing a pistol. You might have lent it to your mate or whatever. It's done on a random basis, so again, it should give you some encouragement. The risk management systems are pretty comprehensive. All that being said, I'm quite convinced that these people will continue to whinge and bitch and grizzle and make all sorts of wild accusations. There's nothing that we can do as far as risk management that's going to satisfy them. But if you would just understand, as I mentioned before, a DUI conviction, my licence is gone, these firearms are gone. Domestic violence, domestic assault, the licence is gone, firearms are gone. A serious assault conviction, gone. Any time that I break the law and convicted for it, I'm going to lose the connection. It does discipline you and make you an even better citizen. And having gone through 4 different vetting processes, I think that there is no cause for anybody to be concerned about me or any other collector in this country. But that's about it. I think, yeah, fuck it, had enough. Not going to answer these stupid poxy catastrophist questions anymore. That's it. I hope you're well. Talk to you soon.